Hello, welcome to another weekly update. Firstly, an apology. I don't have my good microphone with me. I should have brought it with me. I did bring it with me actually, but I missed one of the cables, which is a rookie error. Anyway, as you can tell, I am at the MVP Summit. I think behind me is a piece of art from the Microsoft Art Library, which is a thing. Anyway, lots and lots of things to talk about this week, more than 10 minutes worth probably. So some of them might be blog posts, but we'll get through them anyway. First thing is a blog post I put out about using ClothesPilot to actually pack for this summit. It's a week away, and so I used ClothesPilot, which I've talked about in previous weeks, to actually pack all the clothes I'm wearing, including the top and trousers that I'm wearing right now. So you can go read about that and read about that experience and what it was like. So there's a whole blog post about that. Next up, Microsoft Teams apps. You can now cache the content for your app. There's a whole, I'm going to put a link in the description. There's a whole new page on Microsoft Learn all about it. It's a way for you to improve the performance of your applications by caching the content in memory so that they will hydrate faster. Not necessarily for first load, but if you're is subsequent launches, so if you're flipping away from your app and coming back, your users are moving around Teams and coming back to your app quickly, you can cache for up to 30 minutes. That works in desktop, it works mostly in iOS, it doesn't work in Android at the moment, but the blog post goes through all the details, as well as some nice flow diagrams and also a link to a built-in performance tool that you can use inside Microsoft Teams that I've not seen referenced anywhere before, actually, called the Proto Task Manager. So you can look at that on Microsoft Learn. It tells you how to start it, and it tells you whether or not your pages are being cached. So that's a really nice feature, I think, and it's definitely, we see this thing in Teams with users where they are moving around different apps, which is exactly what you want them to do, but yeah, that can lead to some sort of lagginess and latency. So that's all good to see that done. Next up, another big announcement from the Teams Toolkit for Visual Studio Code. They've got a big update in March. Some things in there, so the ability to switch tenants, that's really nice. So if you are active on multiple tenants, being quickly able to switch between different tenants is very good. There's also capabilities for declarative agents. So we've talked about these before, especially around the ClothesPilot stuff actually. We've talked about these different capabilities that declarative agents can have, such as the image search is one of them. There's a brand new one now, which is web search. So you can trigger that, you can add that using the Teams Toolkit, the user interface in Teams Toolkit as well, so that's really nice. So in your declarative agents, you can now include web search and have your declarative agent go out to the web. So you can now include that as something you can do in your declarative agents. There's also a better debugging experience. There's some other changes as well. So you can go through the blog post for all of the changes, but I just wanted to call those out because they were kind of big, important ones. Okay, big news around Teams phone system and the Azure Communication Services. I think any other week this would have been probably the number one item to talk about, but there's just so many things happening this week. This one, this is the ability to, this was announced at Enterprise Connect last week, the ability for you to use Teams phone system, or the Teams phone extensibility, which is all powered by Azure Communication Services under the hood. What it really allows you to do is allow third parties to integrate Teams phone systems into different places. So if you've got a third-party kind of contact center system or something like that, you can embed Microsoft Teams functionality into it, which is really nice. So yeah, it supports lots of different things. It supports seamless, like that kind of seamless integration. It supports emergency calling, call automation, call routing, all like what they call convenience recording, which is where the recording is on without you having to turn it on. It's a whole thing. And so there's a bunch of ISV solutions that already support this today at launch. So Anywhere 365, Audio Codes, Computer Talk, Enghouse, IP Dynamics, Landis, and Luware all support this in their contact center offerings. Go check those out if you want an example of what that looks like. But it's using the power of Azure Communication Services to bring that Teams functionality to third-party places. So that's super, super exciting. Cool. All right. those are the big things for this week. I know I've kind of raced through them, and that's sort of deliberate because I wanted to leave a little bit of time. There's one more thing I do want to tell you about though, which is that Copilot in Azure is now integrated into the Voice and Video Insights dashboard. So what does that mean? Again, I'll put a link to the announcement blog post for this in the notes. Deep breath. Azure Communication Services portal in the Azure dashboard. So thinking about that. So if you go and look at your Azure Communication Services instance in the Azure dashboard, one of the things you can do there is look at the Voice and Video Insights. The Voice and Video Insights dashboard gives you call quality information about voice and video calls being made on ACS. There is a ton of information in there. There is loads and loads and loads, and I think probably because of that, this is why this is so helpful. The Copilot in Azure is the chat experience, the Copilot chat experience that's built into the Azure dashboard. That's now available there as well. So if you go to the Voice and Video Insights, the Copilot chat window is available to you. You can open it up and you can then use Copilot to help explain what you're seeing, ask it about these metrics. So I think that's really powerful. It's a really good application of Copilot chat because the Voice and Video Insights dashboard is complicated and it contains lots of metrics with, labels and names that you may understand if you're familiar with call quality. But if you're not familiar with call quality and what to look for, and you're not quite sure what's important and what's not, then this feels like a really useful thing to go and check out and have it work with you to kind of explain these concepts, explain these things, and explain what's going on. So yeah, it's a big week of announcements. I think across the board, really, across not just in one place. We've seen the big announcements. I think the app caching thing is going to come back and be a really big deal. Like, I know I just kind of brushed over it really quickly. I mean, that's because I wanted to crack on and get through all the news items. I think app caching I might come back and do a whole blog post about, because if you've already got an app today, this doesn't make sense for everyone to do, but I think if you've got an app where the workflow is your users are in and out of it all the time and they're getting frustrated by the speed of it, I think go check out the app caching stuff, because it could make a really big difference. Like I say, the default cache time is only 30 minutes, so it is really designed. It's not designed for, there's no point everyone doing this. And if your users aren't going to return to your app within 30 minutes, it's probably not worth doing. But if they are likely to, if they're likely to be in and out, then absolutely go have a look at this, because completely makes sense. All right, I think that's everything for me this week. So every day this week, I'm going to be doing a little short video to YouTube showing off the clothes that ClothesPilot has chosen for me, because it's selected my wardrobe this week. So look out for that. And other than that, I'm at the MVP Summit, which is fun and exciting, but I can't tell you anything about it. But it's all good. Anyway, whatever it is you're doing this week, have a great one, and I will speak to you all next time.